A week in diplomacy is a lifetime in politics, and you would want this to be true for the Ukraine-Russia war. But the needle just doesn't move. I'm Annya Dutta. Let's get started. The Russian president sat down with US officials for 5 long hours. The meeting wrapped up after midnight and only 2 things have been said so far. One, that it was quote-unquote constructive, and 2, no compromises were made.
Do you think the talks have brought us closer to peace or further away?
Not further. Not further, that's for sure. But there's still a lot of work to be done, both in Washington and in Moscow. That's about it. And contacts between Moscow and Washington will continue.
These talks were possible because of a leaked peace plan from 2 weeks ago. The timing is sketchy, but the US set out 28 points it believed would help secure a lasting peace between Russia and Ukraine. Some of them are extremely controversial, like Crimea and the regions of Donetsk and Luhansk will be seen as Russian territory. No NATO membership for Ukraine. On top of that, its armed forces will be capped at 600,000. Also, Russia would be reintegrated into the global economy, among other things.
I've settled 8 wars. This would be the 9th, and our people are over in Russia right now to see if we can get it settled. Not an easy situation, let me tell you. What a mess. It's a war that never would have happened if I were president.
It was soon made clear that the peace plan was devised by 3 operatives, 2 Americans, 1 Russian. First, Steve Witkoff, US Special Envoy, but also a billionaire real estate developer and cryptocurrency mogul. Second is Jared Kushner, President Donald Trump's son-in-law and his go-to person for everything war and peace. And on the Russian side, Kirill Dmitriev. He is the head of Russia's sovereign wealth fund and a close ally of President Vladimir Putin. He also happens to be a Stanford and Harvard alumnus. Their experience lies in business, definitely, but not diplomacy. In fact, I spoke to Brian Whitmore, a senior Russian analyst from Washington, D.C., who says the choice of 3 men is a deliberate act.
By outsourcing very, very sensitive diplomacy to people who are completely have no experience in diplomacy, quite frankly, and who know nothing about this part of the world. And so therefore it is very easy for, I think what I'm watching now in real time is a classic Russian active measures and reflexive control operation by structuring the environment because they know that their interlocutors are going to react to the prospect of juicy business deals, right? And they know that this is what this administration has wanted to get to, and that they see Ukraine as an impediment to that.
The plan received major backlash for being unabashedly in favor of Russia. The only good thing the plan did is start the momentum on a peace process. But Europe was blindsided again. Like the German Chancellor learned about the peace plan through a news headline. European leaders have started their own shuttle diplomacy since and have embraced the Ukraine president in ways unthinkable in DC.
This was a big wake-up call for the Europeans. And the Europeans are understanding now that they may be facing Russia without the Americans, something they haven't done in a long time. Ukraine borders several European states, right? And therefore its security is indistinguishable from European security. I mean, I had Polish officials telling me this 20 years ago, that the most important thing on their security agenda is Ukraine. This was 20 years ago, right? You can imagine how they're thinking about it now. So I think we are seeing a sea change. And you spoke about how Chancellor Merz found out about this peace plan. Again, this goes to me. These are the Germans. These are one of our closest allies. How are they learning about this in a news headline? Right? How are they learning about this in the news headline? I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of American diplomats learned about this in a news headline.
The Europeans seem to be on a separate track now. They have proposed changes to the peace deal, like Ukraine not having to give away its land, NATO to provide security guarantees. But Brian says there is no diplomatic solution to this war.
There is no magic deal here. There just isn't. It's possible to negotiate some kind of a ceasefire, but it's going to be temporary. It's going to be a pause. And we have to be aware of that. We have to make sure if there's a ceasefire, Russia can't attack again. I've always maintained in both public comments and in written work that there is not a diplomatic solution to this war. There just isn't. The positions of the two sides are irreconcilable. Russia doesn't want Ukraine to exist, and Ukraine wants to exist. You cannot reconcile that, right? Russia has maximalist, eliminationist goals when it comes to Ukraine. It doesn't believe that Ukraine's a real country, and it doesn't want there to be a country called Ukraine on this earth. Ukraine, of course, wants to exist. So this is existential for Ukraine.
So this is where it all stops. Peace plan nobody fully owns, allies on different pages, and a war that refuses to bend. The only thing changing fast is the geopolitical weather, and Brian put it best.
It's a dangerous situation, what we're looking at right now. This wasn't on my bingo card, quite frankly, and I'm a little perplexed by it. My students ask me about it, and I'm a little bit, I tell them this I did not see this coming. I did not see the United States switching sides in this war, which is what it appears we are doing.
Thanks for watching Grey Zone. I'm Annya Dutta.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the US will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.